Now we're going to be working on number 35, which is page 5 in your review sheet. So let's work on this together. Basically here it's all about transformation, how it is moving in accordance to the vertex, H and K, and A. So let's work on this. Now, -1, it means it's going to be moving right 1. Remember, it's opposite to what you see on the inside. There's nothing being added on the outside, so there's no up or down movement. And so the vertex is going to be 1, 0. And since we have an A that's equal to 2, so it's going to be vertically stretched by 2, or you can say narrower by 2. But to be mathematically correct, we say vertically stretched by 2. Now let's move on to this number. Now it's going to go right 3 and up 2. So right 3 and up 2. And the vertex is going to be opposite of the inside. So 3 and the same on the outside. So 3, 2. Since you are multiplying by a number less than 1, so it's going to be wider. Remember, the smaller the number is, the wider it's going to be. The bigger the number is, the narrower it's going to be. So wider and vertically shrink by a factor of 1/4. By a factor of 1/4. Now let's move on to this number. So it's going to go right 6 and down 2. So right 6 and down 2. Since there's a negative, it means it's going to be reflected. Since there's no number, so it's going to be the same width. It's not going to be wider, it's not going to be narrower, it's going to be the same. And the vertex is going to be 6, -2. So the same, the opposite of the inside, the same as the outside. So 6, -2. Over here, as you can see, there's no parentheses, so it's not going up, it's not going right or left. So it's just going to go up by 8. And your vertex is going to be 0 since there's no parentheses, so there's no right or left movement, it's only up or down. Here it's going to go up 8, and you're multiplying by a number greater than 1, so it's going to get narrower, or you can say vertically stretched by a factor of 4. This one is going to be reflected, and since you're multiplying by a number less than 1, which is 2/3, it's going to get narrower. You can say vertically shrink by a factor of 2/3. Now here, +1, so it's going to go left 1 and up 4. And the vertex is going to be -1, 4. Now let's move on to the other ones. So let me choose a different color. Here they told you what, since it's the same, so since there's nothing being multiplied, and it's going to go right 4 and up 6, so the vertex is going to be 4 and 6. Now in those numbers, they actually gave you what the changes are going to be, and you have to actually write the equation. Since it's going to be reflected, so you have a negative. There's no narrower or wider, so there's no number. It's going to go left 3, so it's going to be x plus 3 squared, down 7, so it's going to be -7. So this means it's going to be -3, opposite of the inside, and -7. Now, up 9, so the vertex is going to be 9 over here, right 2, so it's going to be +2. Here it's going to be x minus 2 squared plus 9. Narrower by a factor of 3, so you have to multiply it by 3 over here. Right 2, down 4, so it's going to be 2 and -4, so down means minus, right means plus. But as a equation, it's going to be opposite. So it's going to be -2. I mean, x minus 2. Let me erase that. So it's going to be x minus 2 square and -4 on the outside. Always opposite of this. And the same as this. Okay, wider by a factor of half, and it's going to be reflected, so it's going to be -1/2 on the outside. That's going to be your equation. Up 12 only, so there's no right or left movement, so it's going to be just x squared, no parentheses. and then plus 12 on the outside is going to be the same, so there's nothing being multiplied by x squared. That's going to be your equation. Now left 8, it means it's going to go negative 8 and 0, no up or down movement, so it's going to be x plus 8, always opposite inside the parentheses, but nothing is going to be added or subtracted outside the parentheses. Narrower by a factor of 2 and reflected, so it's going to be minus 2. Every time it's reflected, it means you have to put parentheses. Every time it's reflected, it means you have to put a negative, as you can see, every time it's reflected. Narrower or wider, it means you have to multiply outside the parentheses by a number, as you can see. Now, if you're going to go up or down, it means like down 7, so minus 7. Up 6, so positive 6. The right or left is the only difference. So right 4, instead of having a plus 4, you put a minus 4. Left 3, instead of having a minus 3, you put a plus 3 in your equation. But the vertex and the changes are going to be the same. So this is going to be page 5. In your review sheet. Study well. If you have questions, ask me tomorrow in class.